The Chipotle doors over here.
There's some
questions about them.
And it's all trauma from our past, basically. It's triggers,
Revisiting.
trauma. Can you not?
I don't know. I think, why can't I pull that off, right? How did I manifest you?
Oh.
I got this genie bottle.
Good morning.
Oh, yeah.
What do we got? This is Piper. This is her TV debut. I even did her hair. Yeah, say hello. She's so barky.
Good morning. I'm going to get us some donuts. There is JC. Do you know he's going to be 16 next month? Say hi. Look at him. He's like, who are you?
What's my nose? But yeah, like, what is that thing?
Yeah. So we have donuts.
Oh dear God. Really?
Yeah, these are special donuts. And Dana got flowers from Elizabeth.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Elizabeth doesn't know what this is. And I'm going to have to buy you a bag of these. These are animal cookies.
They're what? Oh,
Animal cookies.
crackers?
Yeah. Cookies.
We should put these in water.
Yes. And then they're not as good as Girl Scout cookies.
These are beautiful.
Gorgeous. They're gorgeous.
Aww.
So we have, I think these are Fruity Pebbles. That's what we were trying to think of. Fruity Pebbles. Get a close up. I'm going to touch them all because I'm going to lick them all.
Oh my God, Deb is all
Sprinkles
about
with
the
chocolate.
donuts.
Oh yeah. This is probably maple, one of my favorite flavors. This is
I
one
didn't
of
know that.
This is one of Dana's favorite. Old fashioned. I think I had a past life in making donuts. But this one I think looks really good. It's got probably some caramel, some nuts. It's probably a chocolate donut.
Touch them.
So if you
Touch 'em, yeah.
if you want any, it's gonna have my cooties. I haven't washed my hands since I don't know, a couple days ago. So that'll be interesting. I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh.
And then I need to make some coffee.
Yeah, you want some coffee?
Yeah, I do want some coffee. But so I was thinking about, morning highs and what we wanted to talk about. And I had a moment that I thought, well, what are we going to talk about, to everybody? And then the Kardashians came up on my feed.
Oh no.
And I thought, Kardashians. And as I was going through it,
One of our students, Gretchen, would probably have a heart attack at how I'm arranging these flowers right now.
yeah, really, it's scary. Gretchen, look away, look away.
Look away.
Okay, so here's the Kardashians, they're sitting there very casual, right?
That's so funny because they came into my mind this morning.
Well, you read my mind, she is psychic. So I was thinking, I think next time, I'm gonna come in my bra and these pajama bottoms.
Can you not?
I don't know. I think, why can't I pull that off, right? I think it might be, it won't be X-rated. It'll be like, you don't want to watch this
Deb,
go
no.
forward. Yeah. Don't you think?
We'll have to film you from here up.
Or here down. Yeah. Here down or here up. But I was thinking,
Well, she's beautiful.
she
I
is
guess
beautiful.
can-
And they are beautiful women.
yeah.
But I was laughing about how they show up to do their channel and what they do.
Yeah.
And
for
yeah,
sure.
Gretchen's not going to be happy with that.
I tried.
Another, they seem
tried.
deep into this. The Chipotle doors over here. There's some questions about them. No, we're not being sponsored by Chipotle. I don't own any stocks of Chipotle. I do have a friend that runs Chipotle. I have that kind of thing. But these are the Chipotle doors. And when I used to, before Dana, I used to have all my clients come here, and if you've been a previous client, you know that. But I'd have people walking through from the front door, walking around my house, or my dogs walking around, the animals walking around. So I went to this place called Bud's Warehouse that's in Aurora, and people donate things, kind of like, like an ark or things like that. And they hire people that come out of prison to do, to kind of get reestablished and make some money. And I saw these Chipotle doors and I thought, great, I want to put doors up here to sort of put boundaries, not sort of, but put boundaries. But I was thinking I was going to get doors that were all wood or something. But then I saw these glass ones and I went, oh, that way we can see through, it's open. And then the Chipotle can come off. But when I had them hung up, my kids and other people said, no, you have to leave them. So this is the story about the Chipotle doors. Great conversation piece of art. Wish I owned it, but that's really great. So you open it this way and this keeps us our dogs, they want to go. You know better, don't go. But our cats, because we have 2 cats, they know how to open the doors. They actually push these open and crawl through. So the cats get back and forth, grandkids, everybody else. But people we don't want on this side, the other side, and animals that we don't want on that side. It keeps those boundaries.
So keep them on the other side?
Keep them on the other side.
On the other side.
Next to neighbors like most of America.
We're just regular people.
Just regular people that talk to Dad and have a rainbow. Yes. I'm a psychic medium teacher, and now I guess I have we've had a YouTube channel. We're just expanding it. And we eat donuts when Elizabeth comes, so I really am always excited when Elizabeth comes because it's all about sugar for the diabetic.
Oh, Lord.
The other thing we wanted to talk about, because Dana was talking about this a little bit today. I think we have napkins over here. We were talking about, I think this is even better. Let's get some holiday paper plates. The news. And for a lot of people in our community, the news is a challenge because most of them are on much more of the centrist side or more liberal side. And so they can be a little on the level of being overwhelmed. And Dana pretty much abstains from the news, but I don't.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of it. I watch basically most of the news outlets. From
The headlines, right? Reading articles.
Yeah. And for me, I want to be informed, but what I think is important is not to always take it personally, but there's another side to that. It's, as I was thinking about this, is if I lived in tropical weather and I hear there's a snowstorm, I try not, people don't go down the rabbit hole when that happens because it's not affecting them. So how can you be informed but not also take it all on? So there's that aspect. But there's also people that are really being truly affected. And how do you help people or individuals that are, these changes are affecting their daily lives? So that's where this...
I was thinking about that today too. And it's hard because we do have, there's one student in particular that shared what a difficult time she's having. And that one of her programs that she's really been invested in for years, I see you eating those donuts. Are you starting to sweat?
Yeah.
But here we are doing a funny show and bringing humor. And people are really going through a lot. Like there's some students in the community, the solution community, that are really struggling right now with some of these programs that have ended, and
just
regardless of
having
their philosophy or politics, leaving politics out of it, they're hurting. And it's hard to know how much humor to bring or how much seriousness to bring when we bring these things to the community,
I think the other part is I've always brought humor to the community. I mean, for over 25 years, I've helped people through grief. And humor isn't to dismiss anyone's suffering, anyone's that's hurting. But sometimes it helps us shift a little bit of our consciousness so we can deal with what's showing up. So if we can bring in other energy, it helps us shift so that we're not always in that painful place. Because then we can't find the answers. We can't find the ability to connect with our guides. And then also realizing that they can be informed but not take it to the degree where they feel like they just can't get out of bed or they can't manage it. And one of the things that we teach in the solution program in 1.0, and Elizabeth, you've heard me talk about this, is how to hold space. And holding space is learning to stay in your lane. It's about witnessing what people are going through, how to support them, but at the same time, how to hold space for yourself.
Yeah.
How do you navigate what you're going through emotionally so it doesn't take everything from you?
It's so hard to stay in your own lane. Learning that one lesson can be life-changing, right? Like when you learn, like, stop giving advice, stop taking over conversations, you learn that, and that in itself is life-changing, right?
We just did some work with
80-year-old.
an 80-year-old. And one thing I want to talk about is it's never too late to heal or change. And sometimes we hear, well, I've always done it this way, or this is the only thing I know, or it's too late to change. I mean, how many of us say, well, it's too late to change the way I am? So I think the other part of this is, how do you learn how to hold space for yourself? How do you create some boundaries? How do you be in this world right now and manage it all and navigate if you're being affected in whatever direction that is in your life, whether it's family, friends, your business, your health, things like that. I think if you're going to listen to the news and listen to things that might, cause you more frustration, then like Dana, she doesn't really get as much involved in it. She pulls away. And for me, I delve in, but I also recognize I want to be informed, and I can feel it. I can feel sometimes when I'm like, ooh, this is not making me happy. How do I then bring in other things to balance that out, so I'm not just focused on the suffering in our world? In our world, if we think about our planet has suffered over thousands of years. This is not the first time that our planet has gone through changes. And Elizabeth, you even said earlier when we got here about being concerned the first time that this president was in office and then where we are now. And this isn't about how people voted. If you voted for a president that you feel aligned with, that's what this country's built on. It's built on having that freedom. But we also need to recognize that some people may feel some pain and suffering. They may not feel it. And so how do we help our community? How do we help those that are struggling with what's happening? And how do we find compassion? And how do we help them feel safe?
Yeah.
As you and I've always talked and always believed, everyone is welcome to our table.
Yeah.
We even have classes on this. Everyone's welcome to the table. So
even people that have left.
Yeah. They're like, you're welcome. It's letting people know that however you believe, whether it's your religious belief, your spiritual beliefs, your religious beliefs, it's whatever you believe, you're allowed to believe, and we welcome that.
Politics, doesn't matter.
So moving forward, it's if you know that people in your community are having a hard time, instead of trying to prove your point, instead of trying to change their mind to see it your way, can you show up by just giving them a lot of love and support? And that holding space is, they need to be, not need, but it's important to show up by saying, you're struggling and I want to be here to support you. What do you need?
Yeah.
What we do instead, unfortunately, is we want people to believe the way we do.
Mm-hmm.
And if you
we
believe
get defensive,
we get defensive. And so when we get defensive, it just causes more friction, more frustration, more hurt, more suffering.
Right.
And I was raised in a home that we wanted everyone to believe the way we believed.
Yeah.
And
you tried to sell that.
Yeah. I mean, I was one who was on board. And I don't want anyone to have to believe the way I believe to be accepted and loved. You can believe the way whatever you want to believe, but doesn't mean we can't break bread together or donuts. We can all break donuts together.
Yeah.
But I think the other situation is, instead of trying to prove that you're right on either side, religious, political, whatever that looks like for everybody, is can you find things that bring you together?
Yeah.
Can you find those nuggets to bring up so that there's not more suffering that we've caused to somebody else because we don't align with what we think that is
Right.
important.
We spent our weekend, that just brings up for me, we spent our weekend last weekend talking about compassion, the entire weekend. Compassion for the perpetrators that may have hurt you at some point in your life. Like, how do we find that compassion? And it goes right back to the same thing in my mind, is like finding that within yourself so you can show others how to have compassion and how to have compassion for you when you're struggling too.
Well, I just think as long as you believe the way I do, our marriage would be
Just
great.
bring donuts.
Just bring me donuts.
I'll just bring donuts for you, and I believe the way you do. Yeah.
But for me, it's looking at both sides of the aisle, and that includes religion and who people love and choices that people make and how they want to live their lives. And one way is not the only way, and I think that's what causes the divisions in our world, for sure. So,
Trying to
coffee.
force your opinion on
Yeah,
others.
force it. Like, this is the reason why. And I think too, the other thing I see is when someone's suffering, we want to fix them with our belief system. I see you sneaking. I'm just watching which one you're taking.
I want to try this one.
Okay. Tell me how it tastes.
Okay. Is that the maple one?
These donuts are a little better than what we usually get. I'm just saying that out loud. Did I say that out loud? I think when we talk about in our program, stay in your own lane, there's so many times that we think that our tools, the things, whatever it is, whoever this is, it says if you just do this, you'll be happy, versus understanding why people are suffering and where they're going. And understanding our ancestors, the people in our life that also cause suffering, and giving them compassion.
Yeah. And that is a hard one to swallow sometimes especially with family.
That's
Like-
the hardest,
Like I've
right?
had lessons recently with just,
Well, it's been very prickly lately.
crunchy. That's the
Crunchy,
new
that's
word.
the
It has
new
been
word.
very
We just do this,
crunchy.
it's crunchy, and I feel like things are coming, at least for me, towards me, that I'm having to look a little deeper. And they're not big things, they're little things. They're little things. But it's like,
Crunching at you.
yeah. For me personally, I think that we're taking a new path, or we're opening up some new paths. And I think when that happens, it helps you to really focus on what direction you want to go, how you want to do it, how to see things differently, and have you to pause a little bit, slow down. I think we can get so focused and not see the things around us. I think with our country and the world, anything new, people want change, but they really truly don't. In the 1.0 program for Solution, people join because they want certain changes in their life, but they hold on to the old because it's familiar. We hold on to what's familiar because we know how to manage it.
But they want change.
But they want change. And so it's like, well, which one do you want? And with you and I, we're creating some more changes in our lives.
Big ones, yeah.
And things will bubble up for us to clean up, as our friend Dutch always says, he's like, I'm cleaning up. And for me, I always call it's the dust bunnies that are in the corners or under the bed that we still have to clean up. So there's things for us to clean up, to look at how we're thinking, how we're managing, what is our energy about? Are we focused on the negative? Are we focused on, an outcome? Are we trying to control? And I'm good at trusting and surrender, but I still have that control in there. It shows up, as you know.
For all of us.
Yeah, for all of us. And so when it shows up, it's, are you truly trusting the universe? And one of the things that we talk about is it happening to you or for you? So when these crunchy situations show up, we can become defensive. And it's
all trauma from our past, basically. It's triggers,
Revisiting.
trauma, revisiting, cleaning up the stuff that bogs our energy down. So that's where it all stems from for me. It's like looking at those
I'm working
things.
to make you a better person. Just kidding.
Can I say bad words on YouTube?
I think we all have work to do, and it's realizing that no matter how much work you've done, there's still stuff there.
Yeah.
And what we were talking about the other day, the layers of the onion, right? We peel to heal, so we're peeling to healing. And it is, those things come up for us to peel another layer.
Yeah.
We don't have to like it.
Deb Sheppard, Peel to Heal.
Peel to heal. Yeah,
New t-shirts
absolutely.
coming soon.
So
Yeah.
Elizabeth was asking earlier today, is when she came here, how did I manifest you?
Oh.
I got this genie bottle. And this is about the surrender piece to it all. I was a widow and doing this company by myself pretty much, and I was tired. But also I believed in love and partnership. When my husband died, we weren't in a good place. All those layers in that, and I wrote a letter to the universe, and I scribbled on it, and I wrote a bunch of stuff that, I was like, no, I don't want that, but I want this, and it was not pretty. It wasn't pretty, and I folded it up and I put it in my nightstand, and surrendered it. Not let it go, but surrendered it. Said okay, and then I don't know how much longer, but maybe 8 to 9 months. I don't know when it was that I met you. Now, granted, I was with 2 men.
Oh, I know. I know her story.
Very well. And from our meeting and connecting, it turned into an absolutely beautiful relationship. Never imagined in a million years I'd be in love and marry a woman. But I found, after probably a year, I found that letter, and I opened it up, and what was beautiful about it is everything that I did not scratch out was you, 100% you. And when I read it, I never put a him or a her. I can't wait to meet him, or he's gonna help me here. It was just this organic, beautiful letter. And then I read it to you, and it was all about you perfectly. I wanted someone to come into my life to be this partner, I don't think I asked to be young and beautiful, but I got that as a bonus.
Well, come on. I mean,
why not get it all?
If I wouldn't have been attractive to you, you definitely would not have.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think that's really a teachable moment, is we try to control how it should look and not the outcome.
Yeah.
And in my journey, I would have thought I needed to date a man and marry a man and fall in love with that person and have it look a specific way. And we've been together over 9 years. I cannot imagine not having you in my life. It's how we manifest without trying to control.
Yeah.
And what we do in our suffering, and we cause ourselves more suffering when we try to control. That does not work. It does not work. And I needed something different. And I think you did too.
Oh yeah.
You were not.
No, I was
you did
working. I was working my way out of a toxic relationship. That's all I'll say. Toxic.
And working 1,000,000 hours. Well, now you work 2 million a week, but differently.
Yeah, it was a transitional time for sure, and that meeting you made that transition go faster and actually bumpier but smoother at the same time, because I had your help, and we had a true partnership to be able to support each other through all these changes that we were both making. And it was a change for you to trust me coming into your life as well, because you had not had good experiences
And the
with
ripple
relationship.
effect, what it does to people around us too.
Yeah.
But hey, here's the love, right? Morning highs.
Morning highs.